Alright, let me break this down in the simplest way possible because this entire thing feels like a fever dream. Johnny Somali, real name Ramzi Khalid Ismail, is an in real life streamer who somehow managed to go from being annoying on the internet to facing 36 years in a South Korean prison. Yes, you heard that right. 36 years. Not days, not months, years. Dude might be spending more time in prison than most people spend on their entire careers. So how the hell did this happen? Let's talk about it. So first off, who even is Johnny Somali? Well, he's this Ethiopian American guy who travels to different countries and streams himself doing stuff that ranges from weird to outright disrespectful. Think loud music in public, yelling at strangers, and pulling dumb pranks. That's his whole stick. He calls himself a troll, but not the funny kind. More like the get banned from every single platform and possibly arrested in every single country kind. He started in Japan, and that went downhill real fast. He got arrested for trespassing, made offensive comments about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, like bruh, and harassed a female streamer. Then he somehow ended up in Israel and did even more messed up stuff, like sticking pictures of Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein on the Western Wall, one of the holiest places for Jewish people. He even got detained for asexual harassment during a protest. All of this is wild, but nothing prepared him for what would happen in South Korea. Now, fast forward to late 2024, our guy is in South Korea, and instead of laying low, he turns it up to 11. By May 2025, he's facing 7 different criminal charges. You wanna know how you rack up 36 years in prison? Let me walk you through the math like we're in a TikTok math class. 2 of the charges are for deepfake videos, and in South Korea, making deepfakes of a asexual nature is considered a asex crime. Not just something like, oh, you broke a rule on the internet, but a full-on asex crime. Each deepfake charge can get you up to 10.5 years. He has 2 of them. That's 21 whopping years right there. Then there is 3 counts of interference of business. Basically, disturbing people trying to work or run a business. One of those was for spilling noodles on a convenience store table while playing loud music. Yes, noodles. That mess could cost him 5 years for each count. That's another 15 years. And finally, there are 2 minor violations for disturbing people on public transport and walking around with a rotten fish. That might sound like a joke, but it's real. Those get him 30 days each. That is 60 days total. So let's add that up. 21 years plus 15 years plus 60 days. And that's 36 years and 60 days. The math is literally mathing. What makes this even more insane is that he's pleaded guilty to the minor and interference charges, but not guilty to the deepfake ones. And those are the biggest ones. It's like walking into court and saying, yes, I did the noodles and the rotten fish, but those deepfake asex crimes? Nah, not me. The court's like, alright bet, see you in August for trial. Not to mention, this dude tried to wear a MAGA hat to court, not just once, multiple times. Now imagine, you are facing possibly decades in a foreign prison, and you decide to troll the judge with political fashion statements. Like, what is your plan here? And in South Korean courts, showing up with a hat alone is disrespectful, but a MAGA hat? That's just doubling down on chaos. This courtroom clownery might actually hurt his case. Judges don't like when you act like a walking YouTube comment section, especially when you're the defendant. And if that wasn't enough, there are even more investigations happening. He's being looked into for possibly sending asexual messages to minors using a text-to-speech tool. There is talks of him promoting North Korean propaganda and even threats involving HIV. These aren't charges yet, but if they stick, man, this guy might not see daylight until he's 70. And the wildest part? Johnny Somali is not even acting like this is serious. He still streams, still trolls, still acts like this is a bit. But it's not a bit. This isn't YouTube drama. This is prison. Real, concrete, cold prison cell type prison. Let's just take a second to talk about South Korea's legal system. This ain't the United States, where you can get out in 6 months on good behavior. South Korea does not play, especially when it comes to ethics crimes and digital manipulation. They have dealt with huge scandals involving digital ethics crimes before, and the law evolved to smack down offenders hard. So when Johnny dropped those deepfakes, he basically walked into a minefield blindfolded. And honestly, the deepfakes might be the turning point in his whole career. This guy went from yelling at strangers to literally creating sexually manipulated content of real people. And that's not trolling anymore, that is straight up digital assault. And now he's finding out that you can't just do anything for clout and walk away with a slap on the wrist. Now here's where things get extra depressing for him. If he does get sentenced and that August 13th, 2025 trial does not go his way, he's doing the time in South Korea, not extradited, not sent back to the United States. He's staying put, and after serving time, he's getting deported and banned from the country for life. And let's not forget, he's already banned from Japan and probably Israel too. So basically, this man is running out of countries. How do you go from worldwide streamer to internationally unwanted in less than 2 years? His whole content model is built around travel and annoying people in different cultures. If you take away international travel, what does he even have left? Is he just going to yell at people in Ohio now? And we can't act surprised. There is a clear pattern here. He starts in one country, acts like a menace, gets kicked out, and then tries the same crap somewhere else. South Korea just happened to be the one that said, "Nah, we are done here." And yes, maybe this is real funny to watch from the outside. It's like watching a cartoon character fall down the stairs over and over again. But at some point, you realize the stairs are real, and so is the fall. Johnny Somali built his whole brand on poking the bears. Now, he's in a case with one. People need to realize that the internet is not a get out of jail free card. You can stream your life all you want, but when you cross real life legal lines, you're not a content creator anymore. You're just a criminal with a camera. And for anyone else thinking about starting their in real life streamer career, this should be the biggest red flag in history. You can't just hop on a plane, pull stunts in other countries and think this is content. Different places have different laws. What gives you a slap on the wrist in one country can get you a 10-year sentence in another. In the end, Johnny Somali might be the perfect example of what happens when online trolling meets the real world, and the real world hits back hard. So yes, Johnny Somali wants to act like he doesn't care. He's trolling in court, still cracking jokes on stream, but deep down, this man is sweating because 36 years ain't content. That's a life sentence in slow motion. This entire thing is like watching a crash you can't look away from. It's messy, it's wild, and it's probably only going to get worse. Johnny Somali is not just banned, he's basically blacklisted from civilization at this point. Let that sink in. Anyways, that's it from me today. Subscribe, don't go making deepfakes, and if you ever think about becoming a troll streamer, maybe just don't. Peace out.